Today on the 50 Pound Brain, we're going to get back to work on Higgins finally. I know it's been a minute with travel and getting married and all kinds of stuff. I haven't had time to work on Higgins, but now we're back at it. So let's get to it. All right, the tank's ready to go back in. We've got a new sending unit gasket in there that's ethanol resistant. We've got the filler neck joint tubing on there, and we're kind of ready to go in. Got that grommet. I'll do a quick vacuum of that, but then we will attempt to put this thing in and see. One thing I did do is pre-position the overflow tube, because I'm pretty sure it cannot go in with it on the tank already. Maybe so, but I think it'll be difficult to do. So we're going to attempt it like this. I'll let you know afterwards if I'm successful, whichever way I'm successful. Because the next time you see it, the tank will be in the car. Connecting a fuel line to this tank is being more painful than I desired or thought it would be, without paying the $50 Moss Motors half a fuel line with the fitting on it. So I'm doing a 5/16 flare to 1/4 inch NPT, and then a 1/4 inch NPT to 1/4 inch compression, and then running a line up to the fuel pump or the tap. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to put the shut-off tap in or not, but I don't like doing it this way. But this whole setup right here was 10 bucks. So there's our flared fitting in with the yellow natural gas Teflon tape. And we'll put this on. Now I know there's no guarantees that natural gas Teflon tape will tolerate gasoline, much less ethanol, but we'll see. And I think that sticks down enough to where I can put this on, put the fuel line into here and get at it after the tank is in. We shall see. Okay, here's our setup. Now we're going to try and install this thing in the car. This is going to be good times, I can tell you that right now. So, okay, so here's the next dilemma. This threads into this for the gas cap setup, which is on the back cowl. Now, I guess on a TR4 there's this grommet that goes in the hole, but see, this doesn't fit this. The grommet was on hand, so it was probably mispurchased, but there's no, I mean, this is nice and flat for some kind of a seal against the body. So what I'm going to do is cut this grommet in half, so at least can use it as a, maybe not, because it's still, even cut in half, it won't fit on that. Let me think about this for a minute. Okay, so here's what we ended up making. And I know you're saying to yourself, wow, that looks machine cut. That's because I have the hands of a surgeon. I'm just kidding, I know better. But what I really wanted, I tried cutting that grommet in half, but I didn't have two flat edges. I needed flat edges. This inner and outer edge don't matter, as long as these two seating edges are nice and flat and seal well. Plus this is going to be hidden by the gas cap itself, so no one's going to see how hokey this is. But it's going to keep water out, and that's the goal. I'll show you how I made this thing. Here's what it looks like on the cap. And once we tighten it down onto the filler neck flange, it'll flatten it out against the body and seal it up pretty nice, if I do say so myself. Alright, so we have a piece of, I don't know what kind of rubber this is, but it's pretty soft, pretty flexible, low durometer. I take our gas cap, and we push. And looky there. There's our circle. We just cut outside that circle to start the inner diameter of our gasket. And I just cut like an 1/8 inch around that. And boom, I have a gasket. So if you need an excuse to not sweep the floor of your garage, there it is. Because you might need to make a gasket someday. Okay, so the tank is in rather loosely, but it is in. There's still some things I want to do. I need to support the bottom a little better, because there's a gap here for whatever reason. So yeah, I need to put something in there to support the weight of the gas more evenly. But it's good enough to plumb up to the engine. And as you can see, we're a little cattywampus on the alignment of the fuel outlet to the hole in the body. The drain lined up perfect. So yeah, people are texting me. But it gives me enough. The adapter thing kind of worked in my favor, because it gives me enough access to be able to put on the compression fitting on the line after I get it in place, and get it compressed. So hopefully it's leak free. The whole deal's leak free. That'll be sweet. And then yeah, we head forward. Neighbors are trimming bushes, so I don't know if that trimmer sound's going to get picked up in the video or not. So, oop, there's the exhaust. Gotta finish. Once I get done under here, last thing to do will be put the muffler all the way on and hit this hole right here in the leaf spring mount, and we will be good to go. Okay, so here's our fuel line. I just need to thread through the holes in the chassis to get it up front, because our ultimate destination is right here, the fuel pump. There's a shutoff tap that goes right here. It's optional. I'm debating whether to put that in or not. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, it doesn't help any, does it? On that fork right there. In fact, I'll show you what it looks like. So this is what it looks like. Let me get it better. And it just open, close, or vice versa. I don't remember which. But it needs it's got a cork that goes inside of it to do a stopper. Yeah, you can see in there, that's open and that's closed off. All right, and there we go. There's the basic run. Running over all kinds of junk. This crappy Harbor Freight creeper. Run over anything. And there's the fork where the tap will go. So we did pretty good on guesstimating length. Once I get it bent, it'll eat up some of this distance, but sweet. Okay. So I had to be out from under the car for a little bit. So I decided to go ahead and finish up this wiper motor mount. And so I was going to put rivet nuts in, but come to find out, there's a ton of Bondo right here. So we're going to just do regular nuts and bolts. So here's what we're going to do. Get this to hold itself in place for a second. The point of the rivet nuts was to make this a one-person job. And you can see right here is where that sticks through. We're going to put a nylock nut on that and call it good. So here's what we're going to do. We've got a piece of Gorilla Tape over the box end of this. This is going to be our nut holder. Looky there. Hopefully we can get this thing started. Okay, so I've got it started, but before I crank it down, because I don't think I'll have great access to it once this one is in and started, drop this one in the hole to make sure your alignment's good, and I'm just going to go ahead and tighten it because it's going to be done, and then I can do the front one probably, if not as easier than this back one was. Alright, so our line is in for the most part. I need to do put some grommets in the holes here where it passes through the chassis, but it's run. Grommets are easy to do. And then I just got to terminate it. However, it's gonna, right now it's just hanging out up there. I don't know, I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna put the tap in or not, or just run it straight to the fuel pump. And I can make it to where it can go either way. I may just hardline it, but put a join in where the tap would be if I decide to put the tap in later on. So, but it's been a pretty productive day, and we're getting there. We're getting close. So today's been a pretty productive day. We're getting close. I'm tired, and we're going to be driving this thing soon. I went to a car show in Layton this morning, try and find another TR3 that I could look at and take pictures of certain aspects that you just can't find pictures of. And there weren't any. There was an MG, and I talked to the owner. He's a member of the Utah British Car Club as well. And so we had a nice chat. But yeah, I think he was the only one representing the UK at this car show. So thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe and all that YouTube legal stuff. See ya. So all the fuel line I just installed, I've got to pull out because it's too small. It's 1/4 inch outer diameter, and it needs to be 5/16 coming from the tank to the fuel pump. I kind of questioned that, but obviously not enough to where I confirm the size. So, well, I ordered new line. Just ordered it from Summit Racing, not a sponsor. I wish they were. This would be a little bit cheaper endeavor. But yeah, I made an assumption based on some tubing that I had, or that came with the car. But it was all tubing between the fuel pump and the carburetors. So got to make sure the fuel pump's fed well, and so I got to put in the larger tubing. But it's not hard to do, and it will be a much better installation anyway, because I was having to adapt down to the 1/4 inch anyway. So it'll be a better deal. It just sucks I didn't do it the first time. So when you don't get what you want, you get experience, and I'm getting experience, a lot of experience on this car. So And now you are too. That's the whole point of these videos. So thanks for watching.